Stop. Before you make another financial mistake that could haunt you for years, think about this. What if you had known the 5 money mistakes most people make in their 20s and 30s? What if avoiding them could completely change the trajectory of your financial future? You could be building wealth right now instead of struggling to keep up. Stick around, because today, we're diving into the 5 most common money mistakes young adults make and how you can avoid them. Cut to quick visuals of financial charts, people stressing over bills, and a confident person with a financial plan. Act 1, the mistake. Mistake number 1, living beyond your means. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever looked at your bank account and felt like it was just vanishing? That's what happens when you live beyond your means. You know the feeling. The constant swipe of the credit card, the impulse buys on Amazon, or the trips you're barely able to afford, but do it anyway to keep up appearances. The problem is, living beyond your means leads to debt, a dangerous, sneaky monster that eats away at your wealth before you even realize what's happening. Imagine working your whole life to build something great, and then it slips through your fingers because of small, avoidable decisions. Scary, right? Here's the truth. Debt is a financial killer. And for so many young adults, it's all too easy to fall into that trap. But here's the kicker. By the time you reach your 30s, it could be too late to recover without serious sacrifices. The good news? You have time to turn this around. Wait, you're probably thinking, but buying that new iPhone just makes me feel good. Yeah, I get it, but I'll tell you, financial freedom feels 100 times better than instant gratification ever will. Mistake number 2, not building an emergency fund. What happens when life hits you with a surprise? You lose your job, your car breaks down, or a medical emergency strikes. If you don't have an emergency fund, you're left scrambling. And what happens next? You're forced to use credit cards, taking on even more debt. It's a vicious cycle. But guess what? By setting aside just 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in an emergency fund, you create a buffer that can save you from financial ruin. It's not about living in fear of the unexpected. It's about being prepared. Are you prepared for the worst? Or are you just crossing your fingers and hoping everything stays smooth? Spoiler, life doesn't work that way. I mean, do you really want to be the person who panics when your car breaks down? Trust me, you don't. Imagine feeling calm, cool, and collected because you have your emergency fund ready. Mistake number 3, failing to invest early. This is where most young people miss the boat. Let's get real. You don't have time to waste. Waiting until your 30s or 40s to start investing could cost you hundreds of thousands, yes, hundreds of thousands, over the course of your life. So, why are you putting it off? Because you think you need a lot of money to start? That's the biggest lie ever. You see, compounding interest works best when you start early. Even small amounts invested consistently can grow exponentially. But if you're still sitting on the sidelines, wondering if now is the right time, the answer is, it's always the right time. You could be building wealth right now with just a few $100s. But if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you'll miss the boat completely. Now, I know what you're thinking. But how exactly do I start investing? Well, I've got something huge coming up. But first, let's get through the next mistake, because this one could actually change the way you approach your finances for good. So mistake number 4, not tracking your spending. You know what's scary? Not knowing where your money is going? It's like driving blindfolded. You're just hoping for the best. Without a clear idea of where your money's being spent, it's almost impossible to stay on track. Whether it's a small daily coffee habit or a subscription you forgot about, small leaks can add up fast. So here's what you need to do. Start tracking your spending. Use apps like Mint or YNAB to keep an eye on every dollar. This simple habit will give you back control of your finances, Mistake number 5, ignoring retirement accounts. And here's the biggest mistake of them all, ignoring retirement accounts. I'm too young to worry about retirement, you say. Well, if you don't start now, you'll be playing catch-up for the rest of your life, and by then, it's going to hurt. Opening a 401k or IRA, especially with employer matching, is free money. Don't leave it on the table. The earlier you start, the less you'll have to save in the long run. It's simple math, and if you take action now, you'll thank yourself later. Have it. The 5 most common money mistakes to avoid in your 20s and 30s. Now, here's the thing. It's not too late. You have the power to change your financial future today, but it's up to you to take action. Every single one of these mistakes is avoidable, and the solutions are in your hands. If you start making smarter financial decisions right now, you could be living a life of wealth and financial freedom sooner than you think. CTA. Want to learn how to make your money work for you? Check out my next video on the power of compounding. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one. Click the link on the screen right now, and I'll see you there. End screen with clickable video thumbnail about power of compounding.